Hello, my name is Kathleen Paydo, and I'm a foster mother in Ohio. I have been for most of my marriage with my husband, Ron, 35 years. And we have taken in foster children into our home mostly because I felt called by the Holy Spirit to do so many, many years ago. It was a time in my life when I was just getting married and I was very interested in children. And I thought maybe I would run an orphanage someday, which was my dream as a child. But then when I became an adult, I found out there really were not orphanages. And so my husband and I decided we would become foster parents. We were pretty young at the time, like 22 or 23. So it was kind of, we didn't put a lot of thought into it, to be honest with you. We just kind of did it. And we have been doing this for all these years now. It's been a wonderful experience. And I'm a big fan of Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa always says, do great things with great love for small things. And so that's all I'm about, might be tiny little things like just a smile to a biological parent who's suffering with the separation of having a child come to foster care, just some little act of kindness. And that has been my mantra through all of these years of fostering, to be a bridge for these families and to boost the children along and boost the family as much as I can, with the whole idea is that we want to reunite the family. So May is actually foster care month. So this is coming at a very good time. I think that a lot of my identity is wrapped up in being a foster mom. I also have 4 biological children I'm very proud of, but they're adults and kind of on their own now. So Ron and I continue to take children in, really focusing on sibling groups so that they don't get split up in the system. And there are so many ways that the Holy Spirit works in my life. And I think it's because not just the calling to become a foster parent, but the fact that to stay with it and continue, because it's kind of easy to quit, to be honest with you. It's a wonderful vocation, but it's a difficult vocation. There's a lot of hard days in foster care. But our goal is to stick with it. And we have all these years. I would say that prayer is almost every minute of every day. I'm talking to God in my head about what's going on and how I can best influence the best outcome for this child and their case plan with their family. So I would say that the role of a foster parent pretty much is taking excellent care of children, and helping them heal through the trauma. There's a lot of trauma that in our world today that these children suffer through. It could be abuse, it could be a neglect, it could be dependency, so much drug exposure to them, as well as the influence of drugs and alcohol on their parents. And it just doesn't mean that the parents don't love their children. It just means that they're not capable of parenting them correctly and in a consistent and sound manner where they're going to be safe. So when they come into foster care, our job is to take excellent care of them, explain where they are, help them understand why they're here, that I know they've been told all their lives not to go with a stranger, but we're actually a stranger who works with the police and the doctors and the nurses and the judge, and that they know that they should be here. Their parents know where they are. So basically putting them at ease and giving as much love as we can to them. We kind of call that wrapping them in layers of love, because children have had so many layers ripped away because, there's been an unstable situation at home. They came into foster care. They don't even really know what foster care is. They don't know who a judge or a magistrate or a social worker is. So you have to explain all of these things to them and make them feel welcome in your home, no matter what their culture or ethnicity or age. We welcome all of the children that we receive into our home. We do the best job we can for them in the time they're with us. And some things are out of our control. We don't always have control, but the things that we can control, we try very hard to make their life comfortable and wrap them with layers of love and support and good discipline that is not aimed to harm, but aims to teach. That's a very important part of being a foster parent. And we work to bridge families to help get the family reunited. And I feel like that's definitely a calling from God, to help our children, help the less fortunate, and to build each other up and help maintain stronger communities. And this is all small things we do every day with great love that helps us to achieve this goal. And we support the biological families of the children. We often work hand in hand with them to help them with their case plan. And that's goals that are set by the court. And they have to meet these goals in order for the children to be reunited with them. And so, again, anything that we're able to do to help, this might be, we've helped people find furniture, we've driven parents to doctor's appointments, we have them to our house for dinner sometimes. And so there's a whole range. And not all foster families do this, but that's been a good way for our family to work in the system. And as I always like to say, we have three daughters and one son, and our son says, well, he likes the fact that we do something about helping others, not just talk about it. And so that's what being a foster parent's all about. Basically, we're trying to help them heal through the traumas they've suffered, build their God-given talents, and move on towards more hopefulness and less focus on victimization. We always tell children that foster care is just a chapter in your life. It doesn't really define who you are. You get to say who you are, but they're all pieces that make your puzzle. And so they do have some influence, but they are not defining moments. And so we want children to know that this is just a phase in their life, and they're going to get through it with our help, and there will always be some loving adults to take care of them. So I feel like that's the Holy Spirit working every single day. There are hundreds and thousands of foster children in the system in the United States every year. You know, fluctuates between 350,000, 450,000. And the numbers change because some children are placed with kinship placements, so that's not really considered foster care, but the children are still out of home. And then you add the issues with the border, and we have hundreds of thousands of parentless children who have crossed the border. And so there's a need for foster parents. But I'm not asking everyone to be a foster parent. If you're interested in it, I think you should learn about the system. And if you're a community member that would just like to be supportive, then just support a foster family. You know, send pizzas to their house one night. Or if you like to garage sale, go out and find nice tennis shoes and drop them by their front porch someday. There's all sorts of things you can do to help support a foster family without taking in foster children per se. But my husband and I work very hard to spread the information about foster care vocation. And like any job, there's some bad days, but mostly it's a really good vocation. And what could be more important than taking care of God's children? Something else Mother Teresa says is, if you may not be able to feed 100 people, but then just feed one. And so that's kind of the point. Like, just start in your own home, work on repairing relationships, building each other up with kindness and love. That to me is all Holy Spirit driven. I feel like that's that little tap on the shoulder you're getting 100 times a day. So if you're struggling with any issues in your life, you know, maybe related to foster care, maybe not, I encourage you to seek help. I encourage you to volunteer and do things for other people, because volunteerism has really been shown to be the answer to a lot of sadness, loneliness issues. Get out and do something good for somebody else, and you will be surprised at the blessings that come back to you tenfold. So I hope you have a wonderful evening. It was nice chatting with you. And if you ever have a desire to learn more about foster care, go through your county where you live and look up your Children's Services Board or your Job and Family Service Board and get more information and see if the Holy Spirit is calling you. Take care. God bless.